Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Alanna Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time, because that's all we've got right now in the present moment. I hope that right now, whenever and wherever you are in the space-time continuum, that you are aware of your divine masculine and your divine feminine, and the physical aspect of that is the magnetism and the electric part of you, the electrical part. See, we are electromagnetic beings, just like the earth. The lava that flows underneath the surface of our beautiful planet is magnetic in nature. In fact, if you've ever lived on top of an underground lava flow, you'll know how mellow you feel, how amazing that magnetic energy feels. You also know that if you get too close to the source of the magnetism, it can explode your head. It can be dangerous. So there's got to be like a healthy balance. And if any of you have ever lived where suddenly there's a mass outbreak of lightning without rain and that causes fires, California comes to mind, Australia comes to mind. You know what it's like to be around all that electrical static energy. It's very masculine. And at first it feels good and it feels exciting and you just feel like so alive, like it's alive. You know, it just feels like, woo! I feel a rush. My hairs on my arms are just standing on end. I'm just tingly all over. And then it gets to be too much, and it's too much static, and your thoughts get scattered. And you get a little bit like leery, like a little spooked. I mean, lightning, I've been struck by lightning. It spooks me now. I love the energy of a good storm. Oh my God, it's amazing. But I mean, just a couple months ago, I think I was even recording one of my shows when lightning struck very close to my window. And I was like, oh no. Ooh, it just, I mean, I felt it in my body, that electricity, and it's so contagious, that energy of it. But I want you guys to be aware of the electromagnetic nature of your body, but also try to bring it into balance, and you just have to imagine there is an equal amount of both, and that it's melding gently and collectively. I don't know how to bring that into your awareness in a more practical sense. And if I think of it, I will. Maybe, and this isn't healthy, but I was thinking maybe like an electric blanket with magnets in it, maybe. Or maybe magnets underneath you and the blanket on top of you, the electric. You know, don't actually use an electric blanket. But the force fields that are around your body happen as a result of the electromagnetism in your body. And when you get out of balance in one thing or the other, I think it puts us off balance in all places, in all ways. In our mind, our mental body, our emotional body. Maybe when we have less electricity and more magnetic, These are weird thoughts I've been having lately anyway. So I want you to imagine you are a balance, a perfect androgynous balance between male and female, energetically speaking. I mean, you don't have to start, if you're very, very feminine, you don't have to take off your nail polish and cut your hair short. I don't mean like that. I don't mean your outward appearance or your gender identification. I mean more like just be more whole in yourself and try to find out what that means for you. Maybe meditate on it. Ask God to tell you before you fall asleep, hey, Source, can you do this? Do me a solid and give me a dream or information in my sleep that will help me to balance out my masculine and feminine divine inside me. Because I feel like if we are electromagnetically balanced, physically, the electricity and the magnetism, that we stop aging and we reverse it. And I feel that if we are emotionally set in a perfect balance and we're able to drain our emotional body, we could drain our mental bodies of all the chit chat and the chatter and the blah static that we don't need anymore. I think we could find a harmony and a balance and a peace. When I said that, I don't know if you noticed that there was a lull in traffic outside my window. It picked up again with that motorcycle. But sometimes it's as above, so below, and sometimes it's as within, so without. You create a peace inside you, and sometimes suddenly the world around you gets very, very quiet. And it all gets still. And all of nature listens to the divine that you just tapped into. That's what I just felt right now. Have you guys ever been at a dinner party or at some kind of social gathering, and all of a sudden there's a hush that falls over the audience and there's no reason for it? It just happens. My mom told me that we are passed over by angels unawares. That means when a hush, a silence falls over a crowd, that's because angels have flown over us. And our souls are in such awe that our physical bodies just stop moving. We stop talking. We get very peaceful. I just had that feeling. I do feel a lot more peace lately. But beyond the peace, I wanted to talk about the Ascension Symptoms that we're having. We were hit yesterday by a shockwave from a supernova explosion. They're believing now that star was Antares that went supernova. And it's so sad. Antares, I think that was my original solar system. I know I'm a starseed. I think that's where I came from originally. Well, long before Earth and long before I was the original angel of death on Earth, which is just a role I played until I decided to become a human again and just do my human thing. And I've been on the wheel, the cycles, the karmic wheels of birth and death and rebirth and on and on and on and yada, yada, yada. But some of the things that have been happening astrologically and cosmologically, is that a word? We've been bombarded with a lot of energies, CMEs and solar flares and supernova shockwaves. And today we had solar winds hit Earth, and tomorrow we have solar winds hitting Earth, and the next day, who knows? Who knows what happens the next day? But I know today and tomorrow, solar winds are expected to hit, and I believe they already did. In fact, I believe I was hit by solar radiation this morning, which is why I woke up in the morning. I feel like that's what woke me up. I felt an energetic shift and change, and I woke up and I sat up and I was like, whoa, I just felt something. That was very weird. I'm glad it woke me up because I was having just the weirdest dreams. I can't even explain them to you, but I was dreaming about people I don't know in real life, but it wasn't like I was there with anybody. I was just having really weird dreams, and weird things were happening, and I can't explain it, but it was like my mind was just sweeping up the crumbs of weird thoughts I've had for, my whole life. And it's just like, it's like the little man inside my head sweeping up with the broom, just getting a little debris over in the corner, getting the dust bunnies out of there, and all the particulate matter that's accumulated in the room of my brain. And it was just, it feels like for several days now, just like those kind of dreams. It's like someone said this, you saw a look of someone said that, someone wore a shirt you didn't like. Let's just throw it all in together, and then on top of that, we'll throw in indigestion and bad pizza. I don't know. It's like I wake up and it's such a jumbled mess. I don't know what the hell I was just dreaming. It has nothing to do with anything. It wasn't even a venting dream. Except maybe I'm just getting rid of all the weird remnants, weird words that people said that I didn't like, or songs on the radio I didn't like, or colors people wore, nondescript buildings, nondescript rooms, ugly colors surrounding me, and then the oddball feeling of titillation. Ooh, what was that? Was that hot goss? What was that? And it's just like all thrown together in a hodgepodge mishmash of a nondescript dream. And I've been feeling like that's been happening, maybe possibly as a collective ascension symptom, just getting rid of the weird odds and ends, bits and pieces of, it's like buying the crappiest grab bag. Have you guys ever been in a place where there was like a grab bag where it's like a brown paper bag, the top is rolled up, and there's staples in the top. You don't know what the hell is inside it, but it's for $1. And you just like, I don't even know what's going to be inside there, but you're so damn curious, you have to buy it. So it's like people who have like shops in the Midwest, this happens a lot. And you go and you pay $1 and you're like, I think I just lost $1. And you tear open the bag, and then it's like the weirdest like magnet or like a pencil, or you're just like, what the hell do I need a pencil for? Like, what was that? And it's always hilarious. It's always something you can never really use in a million years, but you have to give it away to someone who might actually like it. And it's one of those bizarre things. Like, you buy it as a element of surprise, and then you have to end up giving it away to somebody else because what the hell was that? Let's just get rid of the memory. I want my $1 back. I don't know if any of you have ever had that experience. If that's not even relatable, it might not be. But I mean, curiosity killed the cat, and I swear to God, I was a Lyran at one point because I'm so curious about everything. And anytime there's a grab bag, I'm like, oh yeah, get that. When I was a kid, we used to get grab bags at mineral and rock shows, and that was always a blast. My little brother Mark and I, he was so little, and we used to go to these rock shows, and sometimes you get a geode. I mean, I remember having an amethyst geode at one point. It was so cool, and I've always loved minerals and rocks. So, I mean, grab bags at mineral shows, that's always a good bet. It's usually like a weird rock or a piece of a crystal. It's not even a full thing, but it's always been one of those bizarre, weird things that I've liked. But that's how I feel my dreams are lately. They're just like grab bags, like random crap I don't need, really. Just blah, get that out of there. That woman, that waitress, she's wearing red and yellow, like a hot dog on a stick meets McDonald's type of energy. And it's like, blah, why was she in my dream? Ugh, who was that? Just stuff like that. It's just like, I don't need that image ever again. It's just weird. It's just like so nonsensical. And that's the first symptom, ascension symptom I've been feeling. And then other ones, my stomach has been like, I craved really bizarre food. and then ate it yesterday, and then immediately after got very sick and very nauseated. A lot of weird stomach issues, like not like I wasn't throwing up, it wasn't, bleh, it wasn't anything gross. It was just kind of like I feel kind of woozy sort of energy, like nausea, wooziness, lightheadedness, completely forgetting names or faces or places of people and things, and then it all came back later. Memory issues, the nausea, the headache. I had a massive headache. I never get headaches anymore. There was a time in my life where I was like headache central, It was like, oh, I know about this kind of headache and that kind of headache, and I know the difference between that and this, and, migraine versus a regular versus a tension versus stress. I used to have every headache known to man, right? When I was like 18 and 19, I was a very stressed out person. I'd come out of a childhood that was extremely abusive and then thrown into the world, and now I have to fend for myself, and I felt like I had to defend myself. And remember, A Course in Miracles, when I defend myself, I am attacked. It took me, almost this whole time to figure that one out. And so there, so I was always very like, I got a headache, but now I never get headaches, ever. And I had one last night. I'm like, what the hell is happening to me right now? I felt very weird. I thought I had a fever. My head felt hot. I was having hot flashes. That's another symptom. I'm like, I must be maybe I'm sick. Maybe I got a fever. My son went to bed early. I was making us dinner last night, and he said, oh, Mom, I'm just going to go to bed. Whatever you make for yourself, make for me, but don't cook it. Put it to the side. So he woke up this morning, and he had a giant bowl of a little bit of chicken, tons of vegetables, and I didn't even spice it for him. And he woke up and he's like, I'm going to do my own spices today. Like, yeah, the vegetables I made lend themselves to either Indian food, Italian cooking, or Mexican food. I mean, one of the three. You do however you want. And I woke up to the smell of cooking. I'm like, yeah, baby, he did it. He got his bowl of vegetables, massive bowl. It was so good. But I've been eating a lot of veggies lately. The occasional piece of fruit. I'm not into the fruit so much anymore. Whereas like a year ago, it was like I barely wanted vegetables, but a lot of fruit. For a while, I was only into meat. Now I have a little bit of meat with everything else. And I've been eating vegetarian a couple times a week. It's like whatever my body is going through, it will tell me what it needs. It craves something. And then I go, okay, cool. And I still have days where it's like I'm going to have 3 pieces of cinnamon toast and a big bowl of popcorn with Parmesan cheese and lots of butter. Sometimes I need the extra carbs and the extra fat and none of the vegetable fibers. And then other times that's all I want to eat is vegetable. Just chop up that bell pepper and just eat that raw. Sometimes it's just about the bell pepper. It's like that's all I want. So I don't know. I mean, a lot of weird cravings like that, a lot of weird dietary changes that just don't seem like you. Maybe you are vegetarian and suddenly you want a big steak, go eat it. Eat what your body's telling you need. If you seek forgiveness with the cow, ask for forgiveness with the cow and allow the cow spirit to walk with you for a while. That does help. It helps me. I mean, I'm Native American. I do the Native American way, but it's kind of, it is what it is, and we're all going through this weird stuff. So those were the symptoms I wanted to let you guys know about today. So basically those were it. The headache, the nausea, the weirdness, and I also had time anomalies. I looked at my phone like last Friday. I had a lot of time anomalies where I looked at my phone and it had all of the recordings I had done with the date and time stamp without the title of that part of the recording. And then it would switch over to the time. It would switch over to the title of the recording, and then it'd switch back, and then it'd switch forward, then it'd switch back. And I was like literally teetering. I noticed I was teetering between 2 timelines. The timeline where I hadn't yet switched the names, and the timeline where I had switched the names, and it was visible and physically there on my phone. Last night I was aware that I hop to a new timeline where my phone is suddenly working. I was able to finally record my last 5 minutes of the show with my phone. I haven't taken the chance with this 30-minute recording here, but a lot of stuff, it's just weird. I've been aware. I woke up and this is my last symptom I'm going to tell you guys. Yesterday morning, I woke up aware of living in all time at once. Or maybe fuera tiempo. I was living outside of time. For the last few days, I've had these absolute distinct memories of eating grapefruit with my grandpa. I think I might have mentioned this. I'm not sure now. I don't know what timeline I'm on. I think I mentioned this to you guys, but I'm not really sure. But I smelled, 2 days ago, I smelled the ruby red grapefruit. I heard him laughing. And I watched him as he was making me cinnamon toast. Like I'm 8 years old again. And I'm right there in the room. No time has passed. And I went back to that moment. And I've had moments with my mother when I was very little too. But I'm not having a memory of that. Literally my room will smell like that food that is in the room at that moment. Or my mother's perfume. Or, from when I was 4 years old. I had a memory of being abducted by the MyLab people when I was 4 years old. And that came to me today. And that was more of a memory than a direct, relatable, it's happening right in this minute. Even though it is. Everything is happening in this moment. Right now, everything is happening right now. Time does not exist. Get that in your minds. Firmly plant that in your minds. You're going to feel ungrounded when you really get it. And when you start to realize, oh crap, I'm living on that planet and in that galaxy and over there in that solar system. I might be living on moons in this solar system. I might be living on Mars right now. But anywhere you've been in the past, anywhere you're going to be in the future, you're there now. Firmly plant your feet in the hands of God, in the seat of the divine, because that's where we truly are, where we truly live. All these insane experiences we're having, thinking we're humans on Earth, that's not real. Feels pretty freaking persistent. Feels pretty freaking real. But it's not what the real reality behind it is. When you get a peek behind the curtain, you realize there is no curtain. Well, there's some food for thought. Let's move on. Italian way. Excuse me. DisclosureNews.it today. Basically, not a whole lot happened. It says there's just some slight movements and power 10, basically 10 hertz frequency on the Schumann resonance coming out of DisclosureNews.it. They said there's a background buzz that continues for all day. It is weird when you look at it, all the strangeness. It looks like a Scottish tartan. I love it, but at the same time, I can't tell you what it means. It's very weird. The energy has been very bizarre lately. All right, I'm on this website, and it wasn't working. Now it's working. Okay, I'm going to tell you as high up as they got in Hululu, South Africa. They were up at 410 hertz frequency on the Schumann resonance. Yes, 410. So don't just go by the Schumann resonance in Italy going 10. Oh my gosh. No, 410. Something weird is happening on this earth. It is in many different graphs and places, not just the normal, regular Schumann website. That's not the whole picture. So Hululu was up to 410, but by 5 a.m., we're going to start with them because they were the big one. They're on a downswing again. They started off at midnight at 317 hertz frequency, and by 5 a.m., they were at 291 hertz frequency. So they're going down again, but they've been, in South Africa, it's been up and down with that hertz frequency. Schumann there is going crazy. In California, they start off at midnight at 48 hertz frequency. They were down to 44. Nice round master number there by 5 a.m. In Hafuf, Saudi Arabia, as well as Alberta, Canada, they're still flatlining at 0 all the way across the board. They've been there for many, many days. Now, in Lithuania, they were at 87 hertz frequency at midnight, and they went down to 86. Not a lot of change, but significant numbers there. Well into the fifth dimension, them. All right, Northland, New Zealand, they were quite a bit lower yesterday, but today at midnight at least, they were at 64 hertz frequency, and by 5 a.m., they went up to 67 hertz frequency, and that is a Schumann resonance for the Earth today. And as far as space weather news, we are still having 0 sunspots. A little burp came out of the sun. It's literally doing nothing these days but laying around and burping. I mean, this is like my ex-husband before we divorced. Sits around, he looks hot, but he laid around, did nothing, and burped. Son's not playing video games as far as I know, but he was doing that. All right. I'm just kidding. All right. Solar wind speed today, 319.8 kilometers per second. As far as our cosmic rays, our neutron counts coming out of Finland are high today. They're not at very high like yesterday. So it's come down a little bit. The sun did swallow a comet. The first comet discovery of the decade was discovered by Soho, and then womp, 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 the sun swallowed the comet. It's over. Oh well, we'll never see that one again. You can go check out a really neat video of it looks like an airplane going into the moon. This person just saw some flash of lights, quickly turned on his camera, and captured in black and white the most beautiful photography. It was great. It was a United Airlines Boeing 757. It was a perfect lunar transit as it went across a very large moon. So it's kind of neat. If you want to go to spaceweather.com and check that out, it's pretty cool. I like it. All right. Lesson 211 in A Course in Miracles. You can find the Foundation for Inner Peace website at acim.org or download an app. We are on lesson 211. This helps to focus our energies and turn us to a higher frequency because this has a very high vibration to it. A Course in Miracles. Lesson 211 is, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. The main idea for today, taken from lesson 191, is I am the Holy Son of God Himself. I am the Holy Son of God Himself. In silence and in true humility, I seek God's glory, to behold it in the Son, S-O-N, whom He created as myself. I'm not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. So this idea, I think, is so that we realize, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that it wasn't that Jesus was the only holy, true Son of God. The rest of us are the illegitimate bastard children left to fend for ourselves, scrapping around on earth. We are all the same. We are all equal. Jesus said so. Brother Yeshua was a very good man, and he was a master of light and an avatar. So this is why he came back and spoke through this woman to create A Course in Miracles, and that's why we read it every day, at least until we're done. All right, guys. I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, we're going to channel the Arcturian Council. And I'm going to try to go into a very deep trance. And when I do, I'm hoping that they will expound some knowledge about how this energy is affecting us. I think that's why they're here and what they want to talk about today. but we'll only know in a few minutes, right? I honestly have no idea. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be back with the Arcturian Council after this message. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. All right, guys. So while I was waiting for that last section to upload and process, I wanted to watch 10 minutes of David Wilcock interviewing Corey Good, and he literally said the words grab bag just a few seconds into where I was watching on episode 13 from season 2. So unbelievable, right? I just said the word grab bag, and I talked about it and what it is for people that are not from the United States, and like that sounds like a weird thing, and it's in our common everyday language, but it's very weird that, I mean, literally within seconds, he said that. It's like everything is cosmically connected. And if you pay attention, there are signs, I can't use that word right now. There are signs, there are symbols, there are little bits and pieces and reminders that we all are connected. Everything is connected. And that was just a little reminder for me, and I'm sharing that with you as a reminder then for you, because as I get the knowledge, I pass it along to you guys. All right, I'm already connected to the Arcturian Council. I am a telepathic channel. I do not allow them to take over my body, but I'm going to try to go into a deeper trance than usual. I will use muscle testing, and if I feel like I'm not getting a word correctly, I feel them very strongly with me. Maybe you felt an energy shift in my voice, in the way that I'm transmitting energy and information right now. There will be light codes, they're telling me. There will be light codes in this one, so we're going to go down deep. And they said it's going to be about a 21-minute transmission, so here we go. All right. Welcome to the show, Arcturian Council of Light. You are from the 9th dimension? Yes, I'm getting a yes, they're in the 9th dimension. All right, guys, go ahead and speak through me now. Greetings and hello to our fellow friends on Earth. Indeed, we are in every way connected with you. Mostly when we say that, we mean energy. We are connected to you guys all through energy. This seems to be a vague term, and we can see that your host of this show has been struggling very much with the vagueness in terms recently, because it seems that suddenly there has been a need for deep explanations to come forward so that there can be a more profound energetical link between yourselves and the information being given. And it seems that there is a need for a deeper understanding as far as the real, true connection between what you're hearing as an idea or a concept and what is actually, literally, physically, and spiritually happening to you. It is no secret for most of you that your emotions are a part of the connection. Your emotions connect you to the divine. Sorry about that, guys. I gotta shut off my messages here. Okay. Alright. Sorry. Let me get back into the trance now. It was really good timing, though, wasn't it? You're connected to the divine. Woo! Alright. Alright, I'm sorry. Arcturian Council, please continue. As we were saying, your emotions are what connect you to the divine. When you have a physical symptom, you can pass it off as maybe you've gotten a bug, maybe it's an energy field, maybe you walked into an electrical cloud or a storm or somebody's negative emotions, and you don't quite know where that energy that you're experiencing is coming from. You have to really cipher it out. And sometimes you can go into that quiet place of your mind and you can come up with a bunch of theories, or you can just turn to your emotional body. And when you do that, you first should ask, does this emotion come from me? Does this emotion come from someone else? What is the real emotion I wish to be experiencing right now? That will bridge the gap of everything. When you feel excitable, not in a good way, or overwhelmingly happily excitable, but it feels false or unreal, like you're almost trying to jazz yourself up, force yourself into a state of emotional happiness and excitement because you're told that it's how you should feel. Sometimes there are forces on this planet that are trying to force you into a specific emotional state, such as TV commercials, broadcasted signals that you cannot hear with your ears. Sometimes you will be aware of energies and frequencies in your environment that create an emotional state, such as a fear state that comes about when you hear an ambulance siren, for example, or a pack of dogs, or all the dogs in the neighborhood start to go off at once. They all start to bark at once. That creates a state of panic. What's happening in the neighborhood? Who's here? Is there an intruder? What has happened? Sometimes the dogs just bark because they heard a noise that's easily explainable and not at all scary. And other times there's a presence of something else that they detect in their energy field, and their emotional body gets excited. And that in turn excites yours. If you're ever around a large group of animals, you'll feel their emotions in a heartbeat if you're sensitive enough. So we ask you to turn to your emotional body as the explanation from the divine. Connect with the divine. And if you are feeling anything other than absolute peace, tranquility, and the energy that everything is all right and everything is going to be all right, you feel anything outside of those feelings, usually, chances are, they're not coming from you. They're coming from without. Now, sometimes you take in other people's emotions or the ideas and energy and frequencies of other things around you, and then they do become your emotions, but they're not your true state of being. We ask you in these moments, especially before the giant jump, the great big leap that you are about to embark upon, before you go into the fifth dimension, we would like to ask you that you return to a state of quiet, a zero state, some of you call it, being in the zone, others of you call it. We wish for you to bring about that state of tranquility and peace inside of you, where the love of God resides, where the love of God creates for you a bubble of quietude, a gentle, peaceful solitude, a gentle state of just being. This is the energy we wish for you to incorporate every single day into your body. So much so that we wish for it to be visible upon your countenance, where people can see it in your eyes. They feel it in your energy field when they hug you. And they are awash with the feelings of peace and tranquility. For this is who you are. You are love. You are peace. You are loved by so many beings in this solar system and galaxy and universe, by being seen and unseen. We are aware that many of you are learning about the physical third dimensional beings in your solar system, specifically Elena, but also more of you have started to look into it. We feel a energy of fear. Some of you are even feeling energy of anxiety and, dare we say, panic over the presence of other intelligent life, third dimensional beings that have discovered secrets of the universe and secrets of space travel and time travel in some cases. And this feeling of panic and anxiety that's washing over you right now needs to stop, and we're going to tell you why. These beings have been here for a very long time, and your awareness of their presence in your solar system doesn't change the fact that they've been here. Just because you're aware of it now does not mean that suddenly there's a threat. There's nothing to panic over or feel anxiety about. There's nothing for you to be upset about, because if they were already there long before you were born, and they're going to be there long after you no longer exist on this plane of existence, there's no reason to bother about it. Just as there's no reason to bother about snails in Siberia or spiders in Africa. Whether you're aware of their presence or not, they're still there, living out their life cycles. They're there living out their destiny and their duty to God in their fulfillment of being alive. There's sharks in the ocean. That doesn't mean you should be afraid of them. Maybe you live in the mountains or in the desert plains. The predators in the ocean aren't going to get you where you are. So we're asking you now to really take in the information and understand that it's there, but be at peace with the information. There are more beings than existed. Yes, you were lied to. Some of you are angry about the fact that you were lied to by the people that were the so-called authorities. Some of the authorities were lied to, and they believed what they were saying, and everybody is in a state of ignorance to a certain degree, and everybody is in a state of awareness to a certain degree, and it is different depending on the day. Many of you had in your past times where you were ignorant to certain things. Some of you were downright nasty or bad in your interactions with people when you were still in a spiritually sleeping state, and now you've woken up. The nightmare is over, and now the dream can begin. But you have to achieve the level of dream state that you need. And that is one of tranquility and of peace. We wish for you always, always, always turn your mind and your attention inward to the altar of your heart, whereupon sits God in his throne inside of you. Now we know many of you have a problem with the word God. We're getting a signal from Elena that maybe saying that word can be triggering for some of you. So let's just say the source of all love, the source of all unity, the divine source of unification of all of the souls that ever was and ever will be forevermore throughout all of the eons of time. The source of true love, the source of creation, beats in your physical chest, resides in your spiritual soul, and can wash away with kindness and love all of the apparent threats and emotional harborings of your past through your mental and emotional bodies. You are washed with the energy of forgiveness in every moment. You are renewed in every moment in your soul when you wish to be. All you need to do is ask for it. This energy is always a part of you. This is your set point energy, who you are at your core. We wish for you to feel it now. Connect with it now. Sometimes you hear high-pitched frequencies. The tinnitus is the word you use for it in your ears. Sometimes this is a high-pitched, I'm trying to find the word, guys, tingling. They're saying twinkling and tingling all at once. It's almost like an extremely high-pitched set of very teeny tiny steel drums to some of you. Okay, they're taking over again. They're saying, okay, we would like to call it a series of higher frequency tonalities, sometimes musical, sometimes not. These frequencies are the light codes being embodied in your physical nervous system, and your brain registers it as sound. Light and sound combine as energetic frequencies and packets of knowledge. And as it hits your mental body and your physical body and your spirit bodies, it combines to create the sounds you find in your mind, in your head. Or sometimes they seem to come outside of your head to the back of your physical head, or to the higher parts, the space just above your ears, above your physical ears. Sometimes these energies will be heard. They are light codes that are to be incorporated into your body that will bring you more peace, will bring you more tranquility, and they'll bring you more information about the universe at large. They will also incorporate more of who you are as your God self. We are quite aware of the passage of time as we transmit this to you, because we were mindful of how many moments, how many minutes in your earthly time-space energies that we were going to speak. But from our perspective, above and beyond time and reality, we are quite timeless as beings, and we can interact with energies in a higher state, and we sort them out. We sort them out as messages, and we hear them differently than you. We get messages from the cosmos as well, but we experience it different. It comes into our light bodies as energy of color, but our souls see the color rather than physical eyes. It's a much different experience for us than it is for you. And we were made aware more today than ever how you do experience it as actual tones in your auric field, and sometimes in your chakras, and sometimes it vibrates different parts of your individual cells as it's transforming your DNA. When the tinnitus ceases and you feel no sound, you hear and experience no sound, what happens is your DNA has been affected and changed. And for a moment, the energy of that lesson, the information of that energy has already been incorporated. Accept only the highest bits of light. Accept only into your body, into your DNA, the love and tranquility of God. You're ever changing in every moment. Every moment is exciting and new. If you tap into that exciting and newness energy, you will have it at hand in all moments. And we wish for you to be aware of all the exciting changes taking place in every possible level right now with you. Physical symptoms such as the nausea and the wooziness we heard described earlier, we don't 100% relate to that. We don't understand that physicality of that. But when this happens in your bodies, be aware that you are being changed from the outside in and the inside out, and you can always choose the highest path in every moment. When you feel nausea, say thank you. When you feel wooziness, say thank you for helping me know more. Thank you for helping me grow more. And you say thank you to the source of all that is that resides in you. Thank you to the love. Thank you to the light. Thank you with all of your heart. Thank you with all of your might. Every moment that you feel and spend in attitude of gratitude, as Alanna says, we get that out of her mind. Everything that you get, every vibration that you get, that you tune into the higher octave of that, is one step closer, one moment closer to your final jump, your final destination into the fifth dimension. We say that directly, and it's not at all vague. Keep choosing the higher energy. Keep choosing the higher frequency. Feel love, feel gratitude, feel peace. If somebody reacts in a negative way around you, give them love, give them peace. Give them emotional and mental support, even if it's silently in your heart. You may chuckle to yourself slightly as you realize, hey, they're waking up. That's wonderful. They're waking up. When someone pushes back at something you say and they are defending it adamantly because it's shattering their illusions of self and of religion and paradigm, just remember when you were there, when your illusions and your paradigms also were shattered. And it was so scary at first. Sometimes waking up is scary. Don't forget how scared you were in the beginning, and don't forget that those waking up anew, they might be a little bit afraid too. Be grateful that you get to be there for them like somebody was there for you. Bring into their awareness in a gentle way that they are waking up spiritually every day. You're going to come up with a new energy every day. You're going to feel more and more renewed every day. You're going to feel better every day. We're going to send you more and more love every day through our portals, our energetic Arcturian portals. We're bringing into more awareness and more energy, and with more love and the vibration and more acceptance. We are bringing this to you more and more, that you may lift up more and more. They're giving me the energy of the wind beneath my wings. And they say it's only because they're supportive of us, not because they wish for credit. We are just one group of many, many beings sending you love and light in this moment. And everybody is in a process of going to service of others' energy, the service of self, people, and other beings. And many of you humans have been serviced yourself. You have to admit that to yourself right now. A lot of humans are like that. We are seeing the people that were only service to self are now growing in light by leaps and bounds, and they are becoming more service to others now. They are changing also, as are you. Most of you are service to others, but some of you are middle. I'm hearing the words mitad in Espanol. It's middle, like you're a little bit this and a little bit that, a little bit black, a little bit white, a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. That's the kind of energy I'm getting from them. They're saying, yes, exactly. Everybody is a mixture of everything, and we ask that you turn towards the light in you now and only focus on the love. That's what's going to help you jump faster. Accept the love in your heart. Accept the peace in your heart. Try to shed off the rest. Shedding it. It's like showing me shedding it like we shed our skin or our hair. Almost like a snake sheds his skin, but not only that energy, but just let it go. Bounce it off, baby. Exfoliate your soul, they're saying. It's that kind of energy. They say, and with this energy, we leave you. Just our love, our light. Our counsel is ever available. Just ask. When you need us, we will be there in a heartbeat. We love you and thank you for listening. And they're bowing. With the God in me, I bow to the God in you, and I bless you, and I bless you, and I bless you. All right, guys. Well, there it is. That was your Arcturian channel. That's a lot of information to take in. You might want to rewind and listen. Go back and listen to it again. There are light codes in it. I felt them. I hope you did too. The more you listen, the more you get out of it. When you come to an understanding of it 100%, that's when it's over and you've gotten all the codes. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got to say for now. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for sharing the show. Write me at metaphysicalsoulspeak@gmail.com if you have any questions or comments, or on my YouTube or anywhere, Twitter, anything. Just write me when you need me. I'm signing off now, guys, with love and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.